You know, as coaches, we'll do that a little bit. I'm just looking forward to hopping on the plane. Hopping on the plane with my wife. Can't believe I just said that. I looked right up at you and I said, hopping on the plane with my wife flying back to Fayetteville. I'm out. We're up. There's a salad bar in this back bar. Back area back here. And then, quick, we must have a pasta night. What's up? Yeah. What's up? So every night we come up and have dinner here. Tonight it's noodles, McAllister salad bar. Usually there's 2 or 3 places to do the salad bar, but we stay pretty consistent. But then the neat thing is every night is a different restaurant, different menu. So we have noodles, tzatziki's, catfish hole, Sassy's, JJ's, and it kind of gives a lot of variation. And we actually set the menu, so try to teach them a little nutrition as well. On Sundays we have a meal it's a victory meal if we win. Otherwise it's a not so good meal. If we win, it's lobster, crab legs, steak. If we don't win, it's usually like hot dogs.
Really?
Macaroni and cheese salad. There's a noticeable difference.
Where'd you play? Did you play football?
At the University of Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, just show how the world connects. So I played for a guy by the name of Hayden Fry, who was Coach Broyles' running back coach here. Crazy. So like I kind of walked through the door and I walked up to him, introduced, said hello, and he's like, I talked to Hayden Fry today about you. And he said you're an all right guy. And I'm just like, man, and not only with him, but like so many people around the state, they're like, you played for Hayden Fry, he's all right, and it just, the world is connected, It's just,
It really is amazing.
just amazing.
How small it is. Tell them about Hayden Fry's coaching tree too.
Oh yeah. Well, at one time, I think he had 16 head coaches. So I played for him, coached for him. At one time, there was Bobby Stoops, was the head coach of Oklahoma. Mike Stoops was at Arizona. Kirk Ferentz was at Iowa. Bill Snyder at Kansas State. Chuck Long at San Diego State. Don Patterson was at Western Illinois. Jim Leavitt was at South Florida. Bobby Diaco's the head coach at UConn. He played for Coach.
So he's a great leader. He developed.
Huge. I never really learned any football from him. I mean, I learned football, but nothing like X's and O's. It was all about motivation, leadership, player relationships, And then I worked for him after I got done playing. I'm the only guy in his 40-year career as a head coach. I'm the only guy that was a player for him. I was a captain for him, I was a GA for him, and then I worked for him full time.
I talked to Hayden Fry the day that he was hired. I said, what's he like? And he said, he's a caring person. He cares about players, he cares about the fans, he cares about media.
He has an amazing ability to completely trust the media, especially media members that he knows best. He knows he'll sometimes tell us things off camera that give us a little bit of added perspective. He has a trust in us, and his honesty is something I think every media member in the world would appreciate.
He might be the best fit for the state since Frank Broyles. And the way he hires staff, the way he trains staff, and I think that he learned that from Hayden Fry. I think Hayden Fry learned that from Frank Broyles. So it's kind of, for an old guy like me, it's kind of neat to watch.
So you lost 9 straight games your first year. Every game, you wanted to be the first guy off the field, I'm sure, because it just sucks losing. But you waited till every guy got off the field. Why do you do that?
I think it's probably something that Coach Fry did. I remember walking on the field and I always saw Coach Fry going in the tunnel, and I just naturally did it. Kind of like when I always go out on the field if a player's hurt. I saw Coach Fry do it. He did it for me when I was a player. So I've learned from my elders, and some of those things get lost in history. But it's just a little thing. I think as a head coach, I'm responsible for every one of those guys. And I would hate to be sitting in the locker room and they say, Coach, somebody else is still out there, and I'd feel that I'd left them alone, So I'm always going to be the last one in, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. And I know this, I can't express to you enough, as you move through life, to see things that aren't there, it's really hard to do. He has not given us, we haven't earned a victory yet, but it's right there. I know we keep talking about, keep saying it, but can everybody say that they can improve tomorrow? Can everybody say they can improve tomorrow? I believe it.
Sometimes when you're on that path, the destination, I don't know where it is, but it's there. And the journey together is going to be worth it in the end, man.
And post-game, when you win, it's really easy because usually it's just a continuation of what we did well from our preparation. But under defeat, you really got to dig down to your instincts. You got to have a pulse for what your team needs to hear.
I know this. I know it hurts, and I know where we're going. But there's no doubt in my mind, all right? Your dividends are coming. Your rewards are coming, but you have to earn it every day, man.
I think that they want to hear genuineness. I think they want to hear responsibility. If I could have done something better, I'm always the first to own it.
Don't need anybody pointing any fingers. If you want to point any fingers, point them at me. I didn't get you ready to play this game. But I can tell you this will be the last time that happens.
I think depending on the maturity of your team, you can also give them a little bit of responsibility and let them absorb it a little bit.
But keep the faith. Keep sowing. Keep hitting and pounding that rock. I'm so proud of you. All right, but we got to take ownership of some bad things that happened.
But I've had a lot of kids that have played for me tell me that some of the stuff I've said after the game has been more meaningful to them than any other time.
As men, we're all given a name, and all you do is build value to that name every day by what you do. You are on a path to success. And although it doesn't seem real clear right now, I guarantee it's there. I guarantee it's there.
I think one of the toughest things in college football, really any football, is dealing with the adverse times, dealing with the losses. I think he knew coming into the season, coming into taking over the program at Arkansas, that there were going to be some tough times. There were going to be times when he was going to have to check himself and check his personality before he spoke to the football team.
You know, the first year was pretty tough because there wasn't much winning, you know, an over in the SEC. But as he started to win and you had those back-to-back shutouts, they jumped in with both feet. You know.
How about that defense? 2 shutouts! Offense, 17 points in the first quarter against the #1 defense in the SEC.
What gave you resiliency when things weren't going well, especially when you had all the success that you had at Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think the fact that you know it's possible. I didn't win all those games by chance, you know, and they came in my 5th and 6th and 7th year, which meant those were all the recruits that we had recruited, you know. We went 12-1 in our first year, but many of those players I hadn't recruited. But then we went through a couple struggles, a 9-3, a 7-6, and then we all of a sudden won 10 games in year 4, and then year 5 was a championship, year 6 was a championship, year 7 was a championship, and it proved to me that I knew the course. I just had to stay the course. During those tough times here, I saw the things coming. They may not appear to the naked eye from the outside world, but I saw enough things that I knew if we just stayed the course, it was going to happen.
But I tell you what, I think you earned a little bit of respect today. Those guys still don't know what happened.
Now he gonna go home and hop on his wife. Yeah!